All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great Muslim well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to those for electors out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to this truth with a whole heart sincerity. All right, and may the blessing and election be upon your houses. All right, the title and the topic of this lesson is going to be Jealousy is the Rage of a Man. All right. And how, adultery and dealing with, women that have men, all right, is, ultimately going to lead to your demise. All right. That's, displeasing in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Shai. All right. The Lord does not like that. Okay. I want to get straight into it. This is a Proverbs 6 chapter verse 34. It reads, "For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance." Okay. You see a lot of the times when, men get put to death, all right, it's usually one of three things or one of a couple things. It's either money, right, or dealing with another man's women. Them be the top reasons, right, the top two reasons why, men get put to death, man. All right, dealing with another man's woman. All right, and you see that, time and time again, man. All right, Jacob get put to death for dealing with another man's woman. All right, man gets mad and he puts him to death, man. Right, you see that in movies, see that in real life, man. All right, you hear it in songs and so on, man. All right, so it would behoove you, all right, to not deal with another man's woman, man. All right, leave that woman alone. Okay, I want to read this account in 2 Samuel. So, I want to read this account in 2 Samuel with King David. All right, gonna get straight into it. All right, 2 Samuel 11 chapter, starting at the top, it reads, "And it came to pass, after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still in Jerusalem. And it came to pass in the evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her." All right, and that's the first mistake, man. Right? The moment, right, David realized that that woman was a wife to another man, he should have just left it alone, man. Right? But what did he do? He sent messengers and took her. Let's continue on, verse 4. "And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house." Right? So David, right, knew that she was married, right? She was married to Uriah the Hittite, all right? But what, he still, committed adultery with her, knowing that he shouldn't have did that, right? Knowing that's part of the law, right? To not deal with women that are married to other men, right? So they're both in the wrong. The woman for dealing with another man, knowing she's married, and David for sleeping with the woman, knowing she has a man. All right. All right. Verse 5. "And the woman conceived and told David and said, I am with child." Now after David popped the Eve, right? After he committed adultery with her, right? Now the Eve is pregnant, right? Now she's pregnant. The married woman is pregnant now with David's child. Verse 6, "And David sent to Joab, saying, Send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered. And David said unto Uriah, Go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down unto his house, David said unto Uriah, Camest thou not from thy journey? Why didst thou not go down into thine house? Right? So basically, right, after the war, right, David basically tried to, send Uriah back home, right, to, long story short, to basically, see his woman and to pop his woman, right? That way, that child wouldn't really be on him no more. It'll be, he'll think that that's his child, right? But Uriah ended up not going down to see his wife, man. All right. And he ended up staying with the rest of the soldiers, right? Verse 10, and when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down into his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down into thy house? And Uriah said unto David, the ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into my house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife, as thou livest, and as thou soul liveth? I will not do this thing. And David said to Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. For Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his lord, but went not down to his house. And it came to pass in the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter, saying, set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. All right, so after all the attempts of David trying to basically get Uriah to go back home, go see his woman, lie with her, all right, after the fact of knowing that she had a woman, okay, he basically gave an order to say, hey, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna send Uriah to the front line of the worst battle, right? The battle has the most action, hoping that he's gonna die. All right, we're basically gonna set him up for death, man. All right, have him die at battle. All right. Verse 16. And it came to pass when Joab observed the city, and he assigned Salakia. And it came to pass when Joab observed the city, and he assigned Uriah unto a place where he knew that valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. So after the battle, Uriah was in the hot spot, and he ended up dying at battle. Verse 18, then Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so, be that the king's wrath arise, and he say unto thee, wherefore approach ye so nigh unto the city? When ye did fight, knew ye not that they would shoot from the wall, who smote Abimelech, the son of Jeruzabeth? Did not a woman cast a piece of millstone upon him from the wall, that he died in Thebez? Why went ye nigh the wall? Then say thou, thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. So the messenger went and came and shoot David all that Joab sent him for. And the messenger said unto David, surely the men prevailed against us, and came out unto us into the field, and we were upon them, even unto the entering of the gate. And the shooter shot from off the wall upon thy servants, and some of the king's servants be dead, and thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. So basically, they're just explaining to David, what happened, how, how Uriah got killed in combat. Verse 25. Then David said unto the messenger, thus shalt thou say unto Joab, let not this thing displease thee, for the sword divide one as well as another. Make that battle more strong against the city, and overthrow it, and encourage thou him. When the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah's husband was dead, she mourned for her husband. And when the morning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife, and bare him a son. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. All right. So after all that happened, right, David sent the woman's husband out to battle to die. He died. Then he tried to take her, make him his wife, and then had the kid, right? But that at the end of the day, all that displeased Yahweh Shema Shah, man. He committed adultery, right? He laid with another man's woman and tried to cover it up in different ways. All right, and ultimately, at the end, he tried to he put the husband to death, right? Sent the husband out to war to die, to be with the wife, man, right? Jake gonna try to find a little loophole, try to find their way around and try to, yikewah. But nonetheless, that was still displeasing to the Lord. All right, just going to show you, right? How Jake gonna try to do different things, man, but still, right? Different examples. Still, leave that Eve alone because that displeased the Lord. And ultimately, what was the judgment? What happened? That child ended up dying. The Lord, took the spirit from that child, man. All right, that just goes to show you, man, the judgments of Yahweh Bashem out Shai, and why you shouldn't deal with another man's woman. All right, this is just an account, quick example I wanted to just read real quick. Okay, this is Matthew the 5th chapter, verse 28, and it reads, "But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." All right, and we see in the beginning of this, right, when David was on the roof, right, he was looking upon her. Right, he was lusting after her, right? And let me see, right here, verse 2. "And it came to pass in an evening, David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself," right? Meaning what? She was naked. She was cleaning herself, man. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. So David was already seeing her, lusting after, like, yeah, I need to have that, man. That's why he sent and inquired after her, man. Even after figuring out, right, hearing that she was a wife to another man, he still inquired after her, man. All right. So even before he even committed the act of laying with her, okay, he already committed adultery in his mind because what, he was looking on her and lusting after her, man. All right. So you're not supposed to even, look upon another man's woman and lust after her, man. That's going off. That's committing adultery in your mind, man, in your heart. All right. This is Sirach of Ecclesiasticus, the 9th chapter, verse 9, and reads, "Said not," Salakia. Jake is just getting over a little cold, Salakia. This is Sirach of Ecclesiasticus, the 9th chapter, verse 9, and reads, "Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction." All right. So you shouldn't even be, going out to catch a meal with another man's wife, going out to get lunch, brunch, breakfast, all these different things, if it with you and just another man's wife, man. Nah. Right? You shouldn't even be doing that. Right? Right? Spending money on another man's woman. Right? Nah. Right? That's going off. Right? Because what it says latter end, right? Through thy desire thou fall into destruction, right? That's going to just lead you down the wrong path, man. Ultimately to destruction, man. All right? Next thing you know, you're going off. Right? So avoid dealing with other man's wife. Right? Do not deal with women that's married to another man. Point blank and period. That's the moral of the story, man. All right? Because the Lord will judge you, man. Whether it's by the way of the woman's husband finding out, him trying to put you to death or harming you, or whatever the case may be. All right? Or the Lord, all right, himself just, putting you to death, man. All right? In some way, right? Whatever the case may be. All right? So, deal not with another man's woman or another man's wife. All right. But with that being said, I'll give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kakadash, that belongs to the elders and apostles of great Muslim well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to those who electors out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to this truth with whole heart sincerity. Until next time, Shalom, and a Baba Ba, Kwame Asherallah. Shalom.